Hi everyone, in this video we are going to learn how to select data in Pandas data frame. We are going to see all those options one by one. So first one is using dot operators. Second one is using index based operators. Third one is label based selections using loc. If it is a integer based positions we can use iloc. And for selecting a particular value we can use at and iat. Now one obvious question is, out of all of these options which one is best for production code? Loc, iloc, at and iat, these four are programmatically optimized so that it will give you best performance. Now dot and index operator, these are okay for interactive access, or if you wanted to quickly see the data, that time these two options are fine. Now there are multiple ways to select the data, kind of like you can select a particular row, one column, or range of rows, range of columns. We can select by passing some Boolean values. And the last one is the best, where we can select the data based upon callable functions, where I will write some logic in that function which will decide like which row I'm going to select and pass it as a callable function. We're going to see all of these options one by one. So before we'll start with the Pandas series, I wanted to recap about the Python list. So I've defined one Python list over here given the same data. And now if I wanted to select the first element of this list, how I'll do it? It will be simple. I have to just pass the index value. So if it is the first row, I can just pass it index value. Now if I wanted to select the range of data, now let's call, I'll passing the first index and last index value. At that time you can see the last element has been excluded. Now why I am talking about this, because in pandas it will be different, and that difference will be in case of loc, not in iloc. So just remember it. Okay, we'll see this one just in few seconds. So over here I have defined one pandas series which is 1 2 3 4, and passing the index value as first, second, third and fourth one is the integer. Now if I wanted to select this data using dot operator, let's say I will call the dot operator for this selection. How can I do that? So series dot will pass the label first. This way I can access this value. Similarly, I can call the second one, and this will return the second value. In case if I will pass the last one, which is integer, at this time it will not work because this one is not a proper Python identifier. As well as in dot operator, we have to remember like it should not be any keyword. In those conditions it will not work. Now moving to the next one, where we have the index based operator, and let's pass 4, see what will happen. And this time we are able to select this value. Even we can select the first one, all this value we can select. Now the next one what we have is using loc. Pass the loc and call this one first. That time I can select this value. Even the 4 it will work. Now the next is iLook, where it is index based selections. Index based means this one will be, first element will be in position 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. So if I wanted to select the first row, then I will pass the index value 0, and that way I can select this value. Now if you wanted to select one particular value, that I can do using first, and we are able to get this data. Even let's check for 4, it will work. Now over here again, we are using the index based selection, then I can pass the index value is in first element. That time it will work like this. Now we just access the one particular value till now. Now if it is about range of values, if you wanted to select that time, how we can do it? Now be little bit careful when you are using the index operator, and this series of the data, let me print this one so that it will be clear. As now this series of data has the index value like first, second, third, and fourth, and by default whenever you are using the integer base like iLook and iAdd, that time using it's taking 0, 1, 2, 3, those default index values. Now say if I want to select the range of values using this operator, and I will pass 0 till 3, at that time it will take it like its default index value 0, 1, 2, 3 over here, and this one is same just like the list where we have passed the fourth one, which is excluded. Now say over in this example I will pass the labels. Now call it first till fourth, this label I have passed. At that time this will be different, it will include the last element also, which is different from the normal list behavior. All right, now the same thing if I will do using look, because this is label based, I have to pass the labels till 4, and it will return me all this data. Again if we use the iLook, at that time it will be similar to the list, because this is again about the index. So always remember, like whenever it is about the index kind of access, that time last element will be excluded, which is similar to the Python normal behavior of the list. But if it is a label based selections, that time it will select even the last one, which is kind of like obvious because it is a label, particular label. I'm saying like first uh, column till last column, I'm passing that one, that level, like I need first to last. And as we are using the labels, it will return all of this which is included. Right now if I use the iLook, at that time again it will be just like the list. Now we are going to see some of the out of boundary, out of bound, or say out of range errors, those we are going to see. So we can expect two kind of the errors. One will be key based error, second will be index based errors. So these two errors we'll see mostly here. Now over here let's look into the Python's list behavior for out of the range values, what how it will be. So if I'll say 10th is not in this index value, so over here I'm getting the error which is index error. All right, now if I'll do the slicing, at that time what will happen, it will return me empty list. All right, so back to the series. Over here we're going to use, say, 40, and I'm getting key error because it's taking 40 as a label, so it's giving the key error over here. Now if I'll pass it like a range 40 to 50, that time it will return me empty list over here. It's the same thing if I will do with the loc. Now loc is label based, so if you'll pass any label which is not available in this particular series, that time it will throw error. Say I will say AB, it should throw key error. Similarly, if it is a range also, it doesn't matter. If it is not there, it will throw key error. Now iloc, which is kind of similar to the Python list, say I would say 40. At this time it should throw index error. Now if it is the range of values, then it should give the empty lists. So just remember this behavior. Whenever it is kind of like it taking you as an index, that time passing the range, it will return the empty list or series. Sometimes we get confused with this index operator because this behave in both the way. Either it can take it as a index, or it can take as a key based selections. That's important. Over here if I'll pass thing like AB, that time it will again throw the error. So only point to remember about this operator, which will be behave in two different way, either using the index value or the label. Both the way it will work. But iloc and loc, you should be clear, where loc is label based, iloc is index based operator. Now once this is done, we have one more options to select the series. That is, if I can define one list, say select boolean, and I will just pass some values. I want the first row, I don't want second one, third one again I want it, last one I don't want. So I have defined one boolean list over here, and if I will pass this boolean list to this series, that time it will return me all the data wherever it's true. So it should return first and third, first and third it return. Now see like what will happen if I will say series greater than 2. So this should return me the boolean values like true, false, like that. So greater than 2 means third and fourth, those are true. Now if I will pass these boolean value to the series, what will happen? That time we can again just like passing the boolean value, it will return me the data. and over here we got these two, third and fourth. Now the last one, which is the best one, where we can pass one callable functions. Say I have this series and I wanted to select the value where it is greater than 2, same example. And I'm passing on callable function over here. We will change this value 1. Accordingly, it will return me different values over here. Now this will work in this part as well as using look. It should work. All right. Now one question is there that if I can access the value, can I replace it, or how to create a new value? So that we are going to learn now. If I have this series and using this I can access the first row. Now if I wanted to change the value to 5, that I can do. Similarly, okay, let's run this one so that we can see the value has been changed for the first row. Same thing I can use with look or iLook. If you are able to access the value, you should be able to replace the value. Now one more thing is using the look method. If something is not there, that time it will create this key and assign this value. So say 500 and I'm passing to the AB key. So it's just like Python dictionary where I will see this series. Now I have one more key has been added here, AB, and it's 500. Now for iLook, if I'll try to do the same thing using the iLook, what will happen? Let's see. The index list, I'll give some index which is 10. 10 is not there. So let's try to access this value and getting the index error. At this time, if I will try to assign the value, it will not work. Again, you will get the error, same error, because this index is not there and it's not able to access it. Now you will say like, okay, we remember that you were able to slice this informations. Okay, this is saying like this code is fine, but if you'll check the series, you will say like that data is not updated over here. The reason is like what we are getting when we are passing some index which is not there. It's empty, right? So we are assigning 5 or 500 to the empty list. That's not going to change anything. Now this one is the last one which we are going to see. So over here, if we'll say series dot some column name which is not there, ABC, which is not available here. If I'll try to access it, I will get the attribute error. Now say that I wanted to assign one value, 50. Maybe you are thinking like, okay, this will add this value to this series. Let's run this series and see what value we are getting over here. ABC is not available. If you can see, ABC is not available over here. Now you might be thinking like, what happened to ABC? Now this one, it added one attribute to this series, not the data, it's an attribute. So if I wanted to access this value, if I select series.abc, that time I should be able to access that particular attribute value. Okay, now we learned how to access the data, how to replace, we use the Boolean methods, callable functions, and thanks for watching.